Hi everyone, Chris from Ground Powder Sims once again. It's been over 6 months now since my F-16 Viper campaign, First In Weasels Over Syria, was released. Once again I want to say huge thank you to all of you who picked up the campaign. It's had a really successful launch and it's been amazing to see so many of you enjoying it, especially on the playthroughs I've seen on YouTube. As you'll all know, the sequel to LOWOS, Last Out Weasels Over Syria 2 is currently in development, and this will be the focus of today's video. I'm going to take a quick look at what's new in this campaign, and then take you through a playthrough of Mission 2. Let's get to it! So, Last Out Weasels Over Syria 2, which I'll just refer to as LOWOS going forwards, picks up just 2 weeks from the end of LOWOS. These two campaigns are set within the storyline of my Operation Cerberus North campaign, which veterans of that campaign will know has quite a lively ending scenario. LOWOS will cover the remaining period of that scenario, so you can expect a lot more intense and dynamic Weasel action from the 12 missions of this campaign. So, what's new for LOWOS? Well, first of all, let me welcome you to RAF Akrotiri. As you'll all know from LOWOS, our Weasel detachment has had to move from H4 in Jordan over security concerns. Incirlik is already packed full, and so it is to the Brits that we turn, who have agreed to find room for our small Weasel det on their base. As always in my campaigns, you'll find your home base packed full of additional details to help bring it to life, and of course a custom air traffic control system and detailed spins. The ATC system at Akrotiri is far more detailed than the one at H4, and I'm really pleased with what I've managed to recreate here. I think you'll all enjoy it too, but more on that later. I'm also introducing 2 new additional characters into our Weasel detachment, Shade and Boomer. Shade in particular is a very interesting character. He's been a lot of fun to write, and I'm sure you're all going to have a great time flying with him. There's also been a number of developments under the hood of the campaign as well. The Weasel system returns, bringing with it the same dynamic and chaotic Weasel action that you experienced in LOWOS, but with some subtle improvements in how the various elements of the system interact to further enhance the experience. But once again, you can expect a fantastic Wild Weasel experience using this campaign. So that's the changes you can expect to see in LOWOS. Now let's take a look at Mission 2. So this is the PDF briefing that comes with Mission 2 of the campaign. In this mission, Forrest and Boomer are tasked with destroying a newly deployed Tin Shield early warning radar site located 2 miles northeast of Sakal Air Base. The position is heavily defended by 4 SA-8s, with heavy concentrations of AAA located at Sakal and potentially SA-6s in the area as well. To accomplish this task, Forrest and Boomer, callsign Sword 2, will attack the target in a low-level pop-up attack using Mark 84s. As you can see, I've broken down the attack profile that I will be flying here. Boomer will be going straight in, and for deconfliction I will do a break and a pop before rolling in on the target as Boomer gets clear. As we carry out our attack, Sword 1, a Weasel 4 ship, will suppress SAMs in the area, while Sword 3 suppresses the AAA at Sakal. Providing we execute the ingress and attack correctly, we can expect to take the radar position by surprise and hopefully carry out a successful attack in relative safety while the defences are already occupied or suppressed. As ever in my missions, get this wrong and you can expect consequences and a much tougher time. Let's jump to the cockpit and begin the mission. Okay, so here we are set on the ramp at RAF Akrotiri. Battery set to main power and we'll begin the startup process. The Immortal option once again returns from LOWOS.
Akrotiri ground Sword 2-1 requesting startup.
Sword 2-1, you will go for engine startup.
That looks like Sword 1 departing for their mission.
Sword 2-1 starting up. engine online.
And what you can see here are just some of the new boards that you'll get in this campaign. As always, very detailed, loads of information in the mission for you. Going to set the radio for Sword 2 and begin the radio check.
Sword 2-2, Sword 2-1, radio check.
Copy 1, you're loud and clear.
Copy 2, switch Victor for Sword 3. Sword 3, Sword 2, radio check.
Sword 2, Sword 3-1, Lima Charlie. Hope you guys are good. Boomer, rotor, check comms. Sword 2-2. Sword 3-2. Loud and clear, continuous startup. RV is waypoint 4, see you there.
Copy.
Okay, so we're going to continue with our startup, and I'll be back shortly when the aircraft is fully set up and ready to go.
Ground, Sword 3, request taxi for Sword call signs. Sword 3, you are cleared for taxi via taxiway Yankee. Hold short runway 10. Yankee for runway 10, Sword 3-1. Sword 2, follow us out.
Wilco.
Okay, so we've been cleared to taxi by Akrotiri ground, and we're going to leave the shelter, turn left and follow Sword 1 all the way down to the hold short for runway 10. And as always in my campaigns, there will be points available for following the correct procedures. So to achieve max score, you want to be doing everything at the correct time in the correct way, but it's entirely optional and can be ignored if you just rather get in the air.
Akrotiri Tower, Sword 3 requesting departure. Sword 3, cleared for departure runway 10, winds calm, altimeter 2991. Clear departure runway 10, Sword 3-1.
So as Sword 3 departs ahead of us, we're going to pull up here and stop at the hold short line. I'm going to contact Akrotiri Tower and request departure. Because Sword 3 haven't taken off yet, they're going to ask us to hold, just to show the ATC system does respond to what other aircraft are doing.
Akrotiri Tower, Sword 2-1, requesting departure runway 10.
Sword 2-1, runway unavailable, hold short.
So we'll just wait here till they get airborne.
Sword 2-1, you are cleared for departure on runway 10, winds calm, altimeter 2991.
Runway 10, Sword 2-1.
And now they're clear of the runway, we can go ahead and take off.
Sword 2-1, wheels up. Akrotiri departure, Sword 2-1, departing from runway 10.
Sword 2-1, cleared for departure East 1 to Irifa. Climb flight level 090.
East 1 for Irifa, climb 090, Sword 2-1.
So after getting airborne, I've made contact with Akrotiri departure, who have vectored me out of Akrotiri airspace via East 1, which takes me through the nav point of Irifa. This is one of the 3 nav points used for departures and arrivals in Akrotiri airspace. We need to arrive at Irifa at flight level 090 or 9,000 feet MSL, so I'll change the altitude of waypoint 3 to 9,000, and all 3 nav points are always stored as the first 3 steer points in every mission.
Sword 2-1, Akrotiri departure handing off.
And departure has handed us off, so we're going to make contact with Sword 2-2.
Sword 2-2 lead, check comms.
Here we drop.
Copy 2, push for waypoint 4, climb Angels 20.
Copy leave.
Big shell.
Shit, well, looks like one of ours. Out here real alone by the looks of it.
Lincoln strike groups somewhere out here as well, I think. Keep your eyes open. You might see a Hornet.
Yeah, I gotta tell you, I missed the Hornet.
Yeah? Don't prefer the Viper?
Ah, well, Viper's great, but you know, thrust love. Never gonna top it.
Fair point, Boomer. Ever land one on a carrier? Can't say that looks like something I want to try.
Yeah, trust I have. Spent loads of time on the boat.
Can you imagine life on a ship? Trapped on there for 6 months or something? Sounds like a living hell. Rather be back at H4.
Sounds like that place sure left an impression.
That obvious?
You couldn't say that.
And Boomer's on exchange with the US Air Force from the Marines, and that's why he has Hornet and carrier experience. And an advantage to having our detachment based out of Akrotiri is it gives us a lot more space in between our airbase and the areas of operation to sort of do a bit more storytelling. You'll find the Mediterranean alive with ships and more aircraft and traffic, and a lot more interesting than the empty desert of southern Syria and northern Jordan, in my opinion.
2 lead, approaching waypoint 4, switch Victor for Sword 3.
2 set.
Sword 3, Sword 2, approaching waypoint 4.
Copy, Sword 2. Form on me, pushing waypoint 5.
We're going to close up with Sword 3, and we're going to fly off their wing as we progress across the Mediterranean and into Syria.
All swords, switch Sentinel on uniform. Sword 3 tier set. Sword 2-2.
2-1 set.
Sentinel, Sword 3-1. Go ahead, Sword 3-1. Swords 3 and 2 are airborne and on mission 3318, request word.
Sword 3, clear to proceed as flagged. Clear on the Silver Angels, 2-5.
Copy, Sentinel. Sword 3 out. Okay, swords, continue.
And those that have played Operation Cerberus North will probably remember the Gold Corridor, which was the authorised entry route from Turkish airspace into Syrian airspace, which went from the city of Iskenderun in Turkey to Aleppo in Syria. For Last Out Weasels Over Syria 2, we also now have the Silver Corridor.
Sword 3, Sword 1. Go for Sword 3. Status report, Sword 3. Sword 3 and Sword 2 are on mission pushing for Silver.
Copy, Sword 3. Vacuum is reporting SA-6 is in the target area. We'll make sure they're put to sleep before you arrive.
Copy, Popeye. Good hunting.
Lead out.
Lead 2. Looks like we have a contact approaching from the north. Not squawking. Copy 2. Stand by. Well, okay then, look what we got. A backfire with a flanker escort.
Copy, lead.
Let's keep an eye on it but keep our distance. Film it through the pod and we'll report in if it does anything interesting. Sword 2, keep us covered in case those flankers get frisky.
Sword 2-1.
Blackjack has journeys.
Lead, we have missiles in the air from the Blackjack. Cruise missiles in the air. Copy 2, calling it in. Sentinel, Sword 3-1.
Go ahead, Sword 3-1.
Sentinel, we're tallying a cruise missile launch from a Russian Blackjack west of the Silver Corridor.
Copy, Sword 3. Thanks for the heads up. Sentinel out.
Okay, Swords, those missiles are dropping away. We should be clear at this altitude. Proceed into the Silver Corridor, Angels 2-5.
So the Silver Corridor is a pre-authorised piece of airspace through northern Lebanon, just south of the Russian-controlled area of Syria, where the Russian air and naval bases are situated. Now this is a very important piece of airspace to make sure you observe the restrictions. If you venture into parts of Lebanon you're not authorised, you will probably lose some of your mission score. If you venture into Russian-controlled airspace near their air bases, you can expect a pretty hostile response and will probably fail the mission for starting World War III.
So Boomer, how was your first mission out here?
Good, fellas. Pretty quiet. No action, but man, I wasn't ready for how busy it is up here. Was with all the other flights. And the Russians already kept us on our toes. Ivan really doesn't give you any space.
Well, quiet's good.
Yeah, we've seen not quiet, and it's not pretty at times. Well, I'm glad to be in on the action today. You know how it is. We've trained for it. Now I want to do it for real.
Well, looks like we're getting no chance. These guys have taken all the easy targets already. Now it's only the hard ones left, which is why we're here.
Well, the Syrians getting constant resupply from the Russians might have something to do with it as well. But at least you get to join the fun now. Although still not sure why you gotta miss out on H4. Glad I have missed it, given how much complaining I hear you did about it. Well, of course I complained. I slept in a tent in the middle of nowhere with insurgents firing rockets at us.
Akrotiri sure is a nice change.
Oh man, it's like a resort. I got a bed and everything. We even got a go-kart track.
I seem to remember kicking your ass last time we raced, Rotor.
Seem to remember you cheating, sir.
Boomer, you all set with the attack plan?
All set, fellas. Just make sure you're on the buoy or break your pop.
We'll go, Boomer. Wouldn't want to eat all your frag now.
And make sure you stick to the timings. We'll keep the AAA suppressed, but can't promise they won't all pop back up once we're gone. And watch out for man pads. One pass and get out of there. No reattacks.
We'll go.
And of course, this campaign will have optional conversations to take part in if you wish. And as always, these aren't realistic. Of course, they wouldn't take place in the aircraft in real life. These would be taking place on the ground, if at all, because they are quite expositional in nature, as they are in fact a really useful storytelling tool, as well as being a good way to fill in some of the downtime as you are making the long transit between your base and your AOR.
Clear of Silver. Stone flight fenced in. Pushing waypoint 7.
Sword 3, Sword 1. SAM suppressed, clear to proceed.
Copy, lead. Sword 2, we're coming up on waypoint 7. Proceed as flagged, see you at the rally.
Sword 2-2, switch Sword 2 on Victor. Stand by for push to target.
Two set.
Waypoint 7, pushing to target.
Saw 2-2.
Altitude, pull up. Altitude, pull up.
Sword 2 crossing the fence.
Lead, Charlie AAA, south of waypoint 8.
Pull up.
And as we enter Syria, it's going to be really important that we keep low, stay below 250 feet AGL. There are a lot of SAMs at the target area that if they pick us up, will be ready and waiting for us, and things will get messy very quickly. Taking AAA fire. Looks like we've got a convoy coming down that road. Unexpected obstacle. Here's waypoint 9, making a right turn for the IP.
5 miles to IP.
Pull up.
One, braking left.
Here's the IP, left turn 70 degrees. .25-degree pull up.
Check master off.
Looking for 4,000 feet AGL and then rolling in.
Rolling in.
Saw 2-2 in.
Pulling down onto the target.
Do a light.
And You could just see Sword 2-2 running across and dropping his bombs.
Altitude. Altitude.
Sword 2-1, bombs away.
Bombs away, off target.
Sword 2-2, ice destroyed. Yeah, infield.
Taking more AAA fire.
Altitude. Altitude.
Push rally.
Cat flare.
Target destroyed, egress in the area.
Mud 6, somewhere west of State Town.
Flare.
Copy 2, defending.
Cat flare.
Copy, Sword 2, break east. We'll cover you.
Copy.
Cat flare. Altitude. Altitude. Pull up.
So that's pretty much a textbook example of how to carry out the attacking mission 2 of Last Out Weasels Over Syria 2. But all my missions are designed to be completable in different ways and to reward you for sticking to the briefing, or to present you with additional challenges should you stray from that briefing. So let's rewind it and let's have a look what happens should you not stay low on your ingress to the target and get caught out by the Syrian air defences.
Lead, Telly AAA, south of Wake 18.
Pull up. Pull up.
Please, we need to get on the deck now.
Altitude.
Lead was still too high. You're gonna see us coming.
Pull up. Pull up. Altitude. Altitude.
You contact, buddy. Come on, be honest with you.
Five miles to IP. Sword 2-1 defending SA-8.
Take my storm.
Altitude.
Sword 2-1 defending SA-6.
Storm 2-2 in.
And as you can see, a completely different outcome to the first attack. And so with that little demonstration complete, let's pick back up on the mission as we were egressing from the target area.
2, switch Sword 3 on Victor. Sword 3, Sword 2 at Rally. Primary targets destroyed.
Copy, Sword 2, pushing back to Silver, follow me.
Wilco.
Sword 3, Seminole.
Go ahead, Sentinel.
Sword 3, Watchdog is requesting an urgent show of force to support a troops in contact near the Lebanese border. You are the closest flight.
Copy, Sentinel. Sword 3 is low on gas. We need RTB. Sword 2, we need you to take this one. You good?
Copy. We'll take it. Where are we going, Sentinel?
Stand by, squid.
And you have the option here of accepting or declining the additional tasks. So if you're low on fuel or you're damaged or you just think you don't want to push your luck any further, then you are well within your rights to say no to the tasking and head home.
Send it.
But of course, you will lose some mission score if you do so.
North 3401.900. East 03634.500.
That's north 3401.900. East 03634.500.
We're back. Contact on the ground is Talon 6-2. They're on Cobalt 3.
Cobalt 3, Sword 2-1. Boomer, switch Victor for Sword 2.
2 set.
Okay, Jim. Pushing to support Talon 6. We'll approach at high level and keep clear of the threats until we've figured out the lay of the land.
So, 2-2.
So in the interest of keeping this video to a reasonable length, we will let Forrest and Boomer go off and carry out their show of force. Like with the primary task, this can play out in a number of ways, different success states, different states of danger you can put yourself in depending on what you do. So pretty much every task in this campaign has different ways of playing out, and it's your performance and your decisions that really drive how the missions go. So I'm really keen on sort of player agency and player decision making to sort of drive the design of these missions. We're going to pick back up on the return to Akrotiri, and we will go through the arrival and landing procedures with the ATC system. So with egress to Syria, back through the Silver Corridor, and transited over the Mediterranean, and we're now about 53 miles out of Akrotiri.
2, switch Victor for Akrotiri approach.
At 50 miles out from Akrotiri, we're required to switch to Akrotiri approach on the VHF radio, and then we'll make contact using the F10 menu.
Akrotiri approach, Sword 2-1 inbound.
Sword 2-1, clear for approach domain, flight level 090.
Clear to name, flight level 090, Sword 2-1.
So we're cleared to descend to Anane, which is listed as a waypoint 2. And like with the departure, there'll be 3 waypoints you'll be routed through, either Mezus, Anain or Iretha. And Anain's still a good 50 miles away, so I'll pick back up as we get a little bit closer to the waypoint. So we're about 10 miles out from Anain, established at 9,000 feet, and I'll just have a quick run through of the procedures we're going to follow as things will start happening quickly. As we arrive at Anain, we'll make a right turn and fly straight towards the Akrotiri Takan on a heading of approximately 038. We'll hold this heading before making a right turn to intercept the 14D arc for Akrotiri, and to do this at about 15.5 miles I will make a 90-degree right turn. This will put the Akrotiri Takan beacon at my 9 o'clock, and then I will fly a gentle left-hand arc keeping the Akrotiri beacon at my 9 o'clock. This will help me maintain approximately 14 miles distance from the beacon at all times, and we will fly this arc all the way around to the 106 radial for Akrotiri, which is point star, at which point we will make a turn in towards the runway and be cleared to contact tower, and we'll then go ahead and land.
Akrotiri approach Sword 2-1 at Anain.
Sword 2-1, cleared for approach main star, descend flight level 060.
Anain star, flight level 060, Sword 2-1. 2, turning to intercept the 14D arc.
I've got my TACAN set up on 107 X-ray, which is for Akrotiri, and the EHSI is set to monitor the TACAN beacon. So we're making the right turn onto our TACAN heading. We're descending to 6,000 feet as instructed. And 038, bang on. Making a 90-degree right turn at 15.5 miles. The distance at which you make your turn will of course depend on how fast you're going and how hard you want to turn, but the aim is to roll out with the TACAN beacon at your 9 o'clock at 14 miles precisely. If you get it exactly right, it's a very satisfying feeling. There is of course quite a lot of tolerance built in, so if you're a mile or two over or under, it's not a problem. And setting up in a gentle left-hand turn. The TACAN's at my 9 o'clock. I've ended up about 13.5 miles. It's not a problem, but can be recovered if I wish. As you can see, I've let myself drift a little bit to the right just to widen my turn back to 14 miles, so I'm just tightening it back up now. And you might have seen on the HSD we have more aircraft inbound on Akrotiri. They are also following the same departure and approach procedures that we do. And like in previous campaigns, the air traffic control system is optional. You can just go ahead and land if you want without making any contact at all. But there will of course be penalties for mission score. You've also got the option of declaring an emergency and making a straight in landing should you be low on fuel or damaged. So we're coming around nicely, approaching the coastline for 106. Still maintaining just about 14 miles. Altitude's pretty close, just slight correction. And at the coastline we're making a left turn, putting us onto the runway heading.
Akrotiri approach Sword 21 at star.
Altitude.
Sword 21 cleared to initial runway 28, twist tower.
So we're cleared down to initial for runway 28. This is at 7 nautical miles and 1500 feet MSL. And when ready, I will contact Akrotiri Tower or VHF Channel 2 using the F10 menu.
Akrotiri Tower, Sword 21 requesting landing.
Sword 21, cleared for landing runway 28, winds calm.
Runway 28, Sword 21.
There's Rota's go-kart track over on the left. And there we are, wheels down. Nice thing about Akrotiri is the runway is much wider and much longer than at H4, so those landings are a little less dicey than they were in FIWOS.
Sword 21, clear runway and park Golf 14.
And there we have it. That was Mission 2 of Last Out Weasels Over Syria 2. The campaign is progressing really nicely, and as of early April in 2024, the campaign is just over 75% complete. The plan is still to have the campaign wrapped up and sent off to ED in late June, early July, and remain on track for that target. Hope you enjoyed this playthrough, and I hope you're excited for Last Out Weasels Over Syria 2. I'm also excited to tell you that Mission 1 of LOWOS is now available as a demo on my Discord. You'll find the link to my Discord in the video description, so if you want to try out Mission 1 early, then please come along, join us and grab the demo. You'll also find demos of all the first missions of my campaigns on my Discord as well, so if you've not yet come and joined our little community, then I would urge you to do so. I hope you all enjoyed this playthrough. Let me know what you thought in the comments below, and I look forward to seeing you all soon. Bye for now.